I feel really sorry for West Ham. I think West Ham were done a disservice. They're now in the Conference League. I think that they should have got 6th place over Manchester United, and we should have got, I say, the top of the league. Let's go to the
Chris,
6th, 7th positions.
Chris, you get what you play for, man.
Huh?
You get what you play for, man. They got into the Conference League. It's what they played for, man. We don't
Yeah,
care.
you know what it is. You know what it is. I think West Ham over the course of the season was so much better than Manchester United. They just were. I know the table
West
doesn't
Ham was
lie.
Arsenal over the course. Of
They play better football. I think they got a better midfield. They scored more goals. They were more entertaining. And yet they fell short. Man United, we have just had our worst season ever. Statistically speaking, ever.
Yeah, you've been relegated before,
Under the Premier League. Under the Premier League.
This ain't the worst season.
as in points tally in it. As
Yeah,
in
in the
results
Premier League.
in the Premier League, yeah.
And goals for and against. We've
Yeah.
not conceded that many goals and not scored that less.
Kind
So,
of with that, to be fair.
huh?
I kind of gathered with that, to be fair.
Yeah. If you look at it, City plus 73, Liverpool plus 68, Chelsea plus 29, Arsenal plus 13, and then you've got United on 0. We conceded and scored the same amount. And then below us, West Ham plus 9, Leicester plus 3. So even the 2 teams below us managed to score more goals than what we did. Unbelievable. Even Aston Villa nearly scored as many goals as we did. Flipping heck. I just want to say my piece on Manchester United just quickly, if you lot just let me land for a bit.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. So I don't really have much to say about last season, really. It was the worst season, and enough said about that, really. There's loads of talking points. Obviously, we've got a new manager. I'm very happy. You lot know that was the guy that I wanted. But I was feeling very optimistic about this season until certain things started coming out. So Erik ten Hag's first press conference, he alluded back to Manchester United finishing 2nd in the previous season, and that worried me because has he just not done his homework? Has he not been looking at United? Puz, we can only see half of you, bro.
I know.
All right, fair enough. I don't like the fact that Manchester United put so much sunlight on the fact that we finished 2nd in a season where Chelsea were in pieces, changing manager halfway through the season, and basically only playing for half the season. And Liverpool had its worst injury record in
And it was a COVID season, man.
It was a COVID season, and we got this silly away record basically with no fans. So I think the previous season was a false dawn. And if Erik ten Hag's alluding back to that, his words were actually, this team has potential. It finished 2nd in the previous season. So that worried me. And then the second thing which worried me was firing Ralf Rangnick. All right, his results were horrible and his gameplay was horrible. But one thing that he brought, and I think all United fans would agree with me on this, was for the first time in 6-7 years, he brought some honesty.
Yep.
He just spoke to the fans. It was funny how the results were the worst. They were worse than Oli, worse than Jose, worse than LVG, and yet no one was saying Rangnick out. Rangnick out didn't trend because fans appreciated that he called it out. He called out the squad, he called out the board, he called out the staff. And the reason why we brought him in was to help build the club, not necessarily to manage. And here's the time now to build, and then we sack him.
You want to be honest with you? I think he was always going to go because of what he said.
Yeah.
I think as a neutral looking up, I think Ralf Rangnick was probably a blessing in disguise for all United supporters and all United lovers. Because for me, personally, without his voice and calling what it is, he, I wouldn't say he, some United fans would have never believed the state what your club's in right now. Because as much as you had a bit of worry about what Ten Hag is saying, he's just literally saying what we all thought at the beginning of the season. Let's be honest, that United team, yes, you've got a lot of work to do, but that team is not a Europa League team. That's a Champions League team. Let's be honest, on paper. I'm not trying to say that you are, but that on paper, that's a Champions League team. There is potential in those players, but with a few additions and a figuring out of certain players with certain mentalities, of course you reach the heights that Man United were. But I just feel that he's just talking based on what he sees there. I honestly believe he's talking from a place of what he needs to add as well. I don't think he's naive to think, okay, this team's going to get me second, I'm not going to have any additions. And I just feel like he's doing a good management there. He's doing good personal management, because for me, I feel like he's basically saying, know what, I'm the guy in charge. I'm coming here on a clean slate. This is your chance to prove to me in pre-season, either I'm going to keep you as a squad player or you're going to go. Does that make sense? And I feel like that interview was just him to just stamp his authority, as well as saying to the other guys, like, know what, I'm not going to judge you from the same measuring stick of Oli and Ralph Ragnick. Because he even said it in the interview. He said, I haven't spoken to Ralph. He said it real. He said, I haven't spoken to him. He said, I don't think me speaking to him will change any of my decisions or what I've seen. That's one thing I do like. But I just, as I said,
think the writing was on the wall after he said that, to be honest. He said he makes his own mind up.
Yeah. So for me, I just feel like when he did that, I just personally like the whole aura that he brought to your club. He seemed like he's a man with a plan. And I feel like Ralph Ragnick, he didn't have a plan. I think he was just there to literally just say, okay, what players can we trust and what players is not needed?
Yeah, look, it's one of the it's one of the maddest decisions. Like, Manchester United have made some atrocious decisions, business decisions as well, because we're not a football club, we're a business. And business decisions, we've made some atrocious ones. But this has got to be one of the strangest things I've ever. You look at Ralph Rangnick's CV. He's not a manager of a football club. He's never done that for 10 years. He's a builder of clubs.
Pick him up though. First game for the international team, 3-0 demolition.
Yeah, of course. But he's a builder of clubs, and well done for him. And I hope he goes on and has a successful stint with the Austrian team. They're going for a bit of a transition at the moment, old to new. He wasn't brought in for that. He was brought in.
Watch what they did in that match as well, yeah. They did what he wants them to do.
Thank you. Thank you. I watched them. And he called out, Ralph Rangnick called out, thank you. Ralph Rangnick called out fitness. He called out diet.
He called out
run. He called out the board. I think I've frozen again. Can everyone hear me still?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm still there. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so just in summary then, Ralph Rangnick's obviously gone. That's closed. And unfortunately, where my optimism was with Erik ten Hag coming in, I'm now a little bit worried. We will see. This is a big summer. We've already got confirmed 6 players off the top of my head that are leaving. So confirmed. Confirmed. Cavani, Lingard, Mata, Matic, Pogba. They're all confirmed. And then ones which are very, very close or near to are people like Henderson, Bailly, he's going to go this season. But then there's also talk of Phil Jones staying now. Pereira staying now. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
I think that's down to the manager and what he sees in them and what
he hasn't seen them yet.
Yeah, but
he hasn't seen Pereira and Phil Jones. No, the reason why Phil Jones will stay is because he's got a ridiculous contract and he can't go anywhere, mate. If we extended Bruno's contract before Erik ten Hag came in, we've made several decisions before Erik ten Hag was even here. This is above Erik ten Hag. Phil Jones, if he stays, will be staying. Erik ten Hag's not going to use Phil Jones. He
No, I
won't
get
use him.
risk. I get you, but what I'm trying to say, I think that stems from you lot.
You gotta wrap this session up quickly, man.
You lot are not going to get rid of all your dead wood in one window, if that makes sense. So I think out of the, it's like pick your poison. And out of this bunch, I think he's just trying to, or the club are trying to rectify one or two people that they feel like, okay, they're not going to cause no destruction in the changing room. They don't mind being squad players, as well as no one's going to really buy them on this ridiculous contract. Does that make any sense? So
yeah. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. You've got a good point there, Sim. I actually like what you just said there. Pick your poison in the sense of we're not going to be able to get it all done. So yeah, that's my summary.